So you guys are ready for an update. The monster is still in my mirror. I parked next to my trailer. And these are my new binders. Check this out. So, sorry for the mess. So you see, it has on one side it has this. It has a slip hook and a grab hook, and on the other side it has the just a grab hook. And these are rated for, should be 15,000. It's a very WLL 15,000. Wow, it's a very nice binder. The only problem is, so there was a it was a 4-part shipment, right? So one box had 2 binders. Box number 2 had 2 binders, and box number 3 had the chain. So that's a 20 foot half-an-inch chain with two that's also a light version of a heavy haul. and 2 grab hooks, 1 grab hook on the other end. And I know all my paperwork said 4 shipments, so and I asked the FedEx guy who stopped by my hotel yesterday, right? I said, I think I'm supposed to have 4 boxes. And he's like, no, that's all I got. And I opened the boxes, I checked inside, because the last one, the shipment that was missing was 2 slip hooks. That's it. So it's basically 2 of these separate with the pin, right? And I need them so I can, when I cut that chain, and of course that's a massive chain, so that's what I use, half an inch. But I don't need 20 foot long chain. So actually it was a very cost effective way to buy the chain, because so now I have a chain with a grab hook on each side, right? So I'm gonna cut it in, let's say, in 4 pieces, make it 5 foot long, or I can cut it in 5 pieces, 4 feet long. And just on the I want to use only 1 hook on, so 2 pieces will have a grab hook, and then these 2 slip hooks I bought, right? I want to put them on. And so, because quite often actually you don't need 2 hooks, and the chain becomes much lighter, right, when you don't have 2 hooks. And because of this, because of these binders, right, so I can hook that slip hook directly to a trailer or anchor point, and then on the other end I have a hook, right? And so yeah, I want to try, just to keep the weight down, this set of chains I want to make only with 1 hook. And also quite often it's useful to have an open chain end, so you can thread it in somewhere, like I did here with these hydraulic legs. I threaded, but by the way, I found in a super tight spot, you know how you drag the chain in? You use a bungee cord, because a bungee cord is pretty stiff, and I was able to push it through from the other end, and it has a hook, right? And I hooked up the chain. Guys here run with no mufflers, and you see that guy over there? Check out how many axles he has. Welcome to Michigan. Anyway, so I got the chains, I got the binders. I'm missing the hooks, right? And I removed, and this is the same guy that delivered yesterday, the same young kid in a little FedEx Chicago, and he says, "Oh yeah, I also service that area," because I told him, I said, I checked out of the hotel. Wait a second. Maybe those are my. No, that guy had because I told the guy, so this is where I will be, you know, and I said, can you please bring these hooks to here where I'm sitting? And he says, oh, I know that area, and he says that's my area as well. But I called the hotel, and they were nice to me, like a couple of girls in there. I said, guys, you remember me? I'm the guy that was in this room 230 waiting for the FedEx shipment. And she says, oh yeah, I remember you. And so I asked him to give me a call if the guy drops off these hooks in there. So basically that's the focus today, get those hooks, you know. And another thing that happened is that my printer broke down. Basically, I had this very nice printer, very useful in a truck. It's actually very difficult to find. It's a HP 100. It's called portable printer. Why it's called the portable? Because it has a battery, right? And so I can charge it, and then I can use the battery, and it does not require high power output, right? Actually, I was able to charge it through a 12-volt adapter. It's like a low voltage printer, right? And that battery saved me, you know, I always used it to print out all my customs paperwork, you know, my permits. And now during the recent weeks, I started hearing some kind of noise when, you know, those cartridges over there, they're moving, right? I started hearing some noise, some kind of a restriction. And basically that print is like 5-6 years old. I think it was 300 Canadian, like 350. But that one I used up every penny of its value. Like, it was a nice printer. Not perfect, sometimes it would have issues, but it worked. So now I know they have a new version, HP 200, the same portable printer with a battery, right? But it's very difficult to find a battery operated printer. And so now finally my Ontario permit is issued. I renewed my Michigan permit, because turns out Michigan does not allow extending the permit. So I paid another $50 for Michigan and $25 service fee. Probably should have done it myself on the website, I don't know. But now I have a Michigan permit, I have my Ontario permit, and the guy needed a couple of days to schedule a crane to unload me. Like, it's funny, right? You're delivering the piece to a crane company yard, and they don't have a crane big enough to lift this. And so they said, yeah, we need a couple of days to organize everything. And he said they're gonna fly in the guy to unload you, and also he needs to look at that oil leak, you know, see what's going on. And I'm gonna tell him that, guys, you know, I did not hit a tree, right? It was not an accident. I did not hit a car or another truck. It just the booster broke, right? The booster broke, and it caused that little oil leak. So I'll try to plead with them, you know, to be gentle, because I'm already looking at about 7,000 Canadian to fix the booster. About the booster, I just got off the phone with XL Specialized. Sales guy. Fontaine does not have a, you know, I use this dealer called KID Trailer. Very nice guys. The guy Chris helped me quite often. Like the previous 2 trailers, right? I found myself on truckpaper.com, and then I asked KID Trailer, Canadian dealer, to do the import from US, and then I found financing, right? So it was the cheapest way possible to get a trailer directly from the States, but it's too much headache to do it yourself. So these guys charged me like $500 to do the export import, and I found my own leasing or financing, and that's how it worked, right? But then when I tried to use them again for a 60-ton, like the leasing company, they refused because they said 60-ton is too specialized. They said, no, if you go again with a 55-ton, we'll be happy to lease you like single down payment, because they already knew me, right? I was okay. Maybe I missed a couple of payments a couple of times, but overall I made them a lot of money. But that leasing company refused to finance or lease to me a 60-ton trailer. They just drew the line at 60-ton for some reason. And so yeah, this KID trailer is no longer a Fontaine dealer. They can still buy things from US, but somehow they don't want to deal with the 60-ton stuff. And there is another dealer, but I don't know them. It's a new dealer. They are like an international truck dealer in Ontario, and they bought this franchise for Fontaine. But they on the other side of Toronto. They never return your emails like on the same day. You know, it's hard to talk to them. I never met them in person, so now I know this guy who is a sales guy now for XL Specialized, right? And XL Specialized actually called me. I wrote, like, I'm not too familiar with the brand. I hear some controversial things about them, like some people love them, some people hate them, you know. Some people say great quality, some people say bad quality. But I know one guy who uses this XL 50-ton, and he's quite happy, so I don't know. And also on their website they say XL is they do custom work, you know. And so when I left them a message on their Facebook page, the guy asked me for my phone number, and then next thing I know, on the next day they called me back and we talked about trailer specs, and he said, okay, who are you working with? I said, this dealer in Ontario. He said, what's the name of the guy? I said, this is his name. He said, oh, I know him. He said, I talk to him a couple of times a day. That's who we're working with. I said, great. So he said, I'm gonna help him and we're gonna do the quote. And the reason I reached out to XL directly, because I wanted to ask what's the lowest deck height they can do. And so this guy was super helpful. And XL, you know, they can do all kinds of custom stuff. Like, I don't know anything about quality, but at least as far as specs are concerned, they can build a trailer that I need. Like, I asked him for 125-inch base neck. He says no problem. I asked him for 28-foot long deck. He says no problem. And they give me a couple of options like level or drop side rail. I said, can you do 5-foot deck insert on top of that? He says, yeah. But his booster, he says, they have a rigid booster and hydraulic. Rigid, I don't want that one. That's just shimmable, old school, easy to break. There's no air. It just basically, it's a piece of metal with wheels, and you just use shims to change the angle. That's just, you know, what if you go into a dip on the road, that's how you break them. But he says hydraulic is much more expensive and it's much heavier. And so this guy, XL guy, the sales manager, he suggested I keep my old booster. And of course, this new trailer is 3+2. It's a 60-ton, but 3+2 in the back, 5 axles. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I'm not so sure that this booster can take 3+2 loads, even though it's still a 60-ton, right? And by the way, why a 60-ton? because you can actually get a 65 ton with 3+2. But if you ask for a 65 ton, they will have to use more metal, like make thicker frames, and all it does is it makes it much heavier and of course pricier, right? So the 60 ton with 5 axles is pretty much, you know, that's all I need. I don't want to go above 120 because this is already heavy enough, you know, for me. This already covers a good chunk of loads. But like I always say, you never have the right trailer. Like right now, one guy has a load on the board 165,000 pounds. So that's what's happening. So, oh yeah, and this guy, so this is kind of like my point of entry, this Steve guy, the dealer, the sales guy, and he's talking to, also he's talking to Excel, and he's talking to Fontaine, because they can do the same thing what KID trailer did before. So they can buy a trailer from US and lease it to me, right? And I'm talking to my old buddy Mark from Hale Trailer, and he's working on a quote for 603+2 model, like the same trailer I have now, except it's 3+2 capable, right? So and so yeah, so and this guy Steve says, he says, I was thinking about this, he says the best way for us to do it would be, we can give you a trade-in, but it would be best if you keep the booster and the Jeep. And I said, why? And he says, because the booster, he says, it's a hard, not even because it's that particular model with airbags, but he says a booster in general is a hard sell in Ontario, because he says most our local guys, and I know he's right, most local guys run a quad trailer. So if it's a 60 ton, it'll be, I'm pretty sure it'll be easy for them to sell with 4 axles in a row, right? Like that's what most people look for. And on the annual enhanced permit, the most weight you can get is with a regular truck, tandem Jeep, and 4 axle trailer. Like there's no boosters. Nobody uses boosters in Ontario unless it's like really, you know, a 200 ton load. And then when you go into US, like nearby states like Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, you don't need a booster. Even like Maryland, New Jersey, you can get 96,000 pounds, you can get 100,000 pounds, you know. So you run into problems with the 4 in a row with the quad only if you go south, like Texas, Kansas, Missouri, or you go west, like Wyoming, right? Like I already know all these numbers because I used to have quad before, so I know that, let's say Texas only gives you 72,000 pounds on the quad, right? So that's no good. So you need a booster. But over here, like New York, PA, New Jersey, Maryland, you can get a bunch of weight. And so yeah, so I'm still, I don't know, we'll see what the numbers are. Of course, it's still too early to trade in the trailer. So if I cannot trade it in, if I cannot sell it, I'll definitely get a deck insert. I'll get a deck insert, 5-foot deck insert, either custom made from a local factory or from Fontaine. A 5-foot genuine Fontaine deck insert is 12,000 US. I can probably get it for like 7,000-8,000 Canadian if I get it made locally. And I would probably change the deck. I can get the replacement deck because my trailer is modular, right? I can change anything on the trailer. You just open a couple of bolts, unscrew a couple of bolts, and you can put in a new deck. But yeah, like I was saying in the previous video, so that would really help me if I had a longer deck and lower deck. I can live with those 4 axles instead of 5. So what I would do is I would put on 12-inch tires. Instead of 275 I have now, I will change the same rim, 8 1/4 rim, 22.5 rim, but my tires are getting better anyway. So instead of using 275 millimeter or 11 inch 11 R22.5, I would switch to 12 R22.5, and those tires would give me, like in the West, you get 48,000 per tandem. So 2 plus 2, you get 48 and 48, 96. So which is pretty good. But what's funny is that I got 96 right now in Michigan, right? I got 24 per axle on the back, so I got 24, 24, 24, 24. But if I had 12-inch tires right now, they would have given me 25 per axle, because that's my axle rating. So I could get 100,000 pounds in Michigan and in other nearby states, with no booster. But yeah, the booster will be repaired, re-engineered, reinforced. We're gonna give it a 70-ton rating. So no matter whether I'm keeping it or selling it, I want to make sure that that booster, if it'll get into the hands of a new owner, I don't want that guy to have any problems and then come after me that his trailer ended up in the ditch. So I wanna fix that booster. So the booster will be like better than before, better than new. And now the last thing we're dealing with is I'm gonna stop at the plant where I had this made, the Jeep, and they wanna look at the measurements and see there's a bit of a discrepancy with between the Jeep I have and the drawing that I had, and I want to talk to them about this. And so after this load, so I'm gonna leave tomorrow, and hopefully unload Friday, and then over the weekend I'm doing load number 2, and it's like a short load that's already pre-booked, about 100,000 pounds, so I don't need the booster, just the Jeep and the quad. And that one goes back to Ontario, and as soon as I finish that one, I'm driving north to Temisco trailer plant, and on the way there I'm gonna stop and have the Jeep checked out at that plant where they made it, and then at the Temisco I'm gonna drop off the spreader bar, and they're gonna re-engineer it, fix it, change it, make it stronger, and we're gonna keep using it. So that's what's happening. Time now 20 to 12, Wednesday, July 29th, and I got fuel. Oh, and what I did about the printer, I forgot to say that. Yeah, so what do you do when you need to print something out? You go to an office depot, business depot, place like that, right? So I put all my files on this USB stick, right? Like my Ontario permit, Michigan permit, my customs paperwork, a couple of bills of lading from the shipper, and this morning I drove in the truck to Fort Gratiot, which is like a pretty much Port Huron. Went to Staples, and it took me like 5 minutes to print out everything. So now I have everything printed out. But I lost the ability to print things out in the truck. So I have the internet. I can save documents on my computer, but I cannot print it out. So when I'm back in Canada after that second load, I need to find a printer. And actually I saw them on Amazon in Canada. I think I'm gonna buy that the new model of the same printer. Like I have 100 HP, and I'm gonna buy HP 200. HP Office Jet portable 200 printer. So those are the latest developments. That's what's happening. Oh, and one more thing. Couple of firefighters stopped by to say hello. They watch my videos. They gave me a couple of t-shirts. Let me see. And they took a picture. Maybe they'll send it to me, but one t-shirt is pink for some reason. I said, hey, are these at least like large size? And this guy Steve, thank you Steve, said yeah. Okay, what does it say here? Marysville local 1635. Oh, I think it's, yeah, fire department. Fire department. So I got this one and I got this one. So I got two brand new t-shirts out of the deal. See, Marysville firefighters local 1635, care enough to wear pink. Well, thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure to meet you and talk to you about my truck and trailer. So stay safe, stay cool. Talk to you later.